topic of the day, Binance to delist these three tokens in August due to non-compliance. And this token's getting delisted: SNM, SRM, and DeFi money. I hope you're not invested in these coins. Why they're getting delisted? Binance states the following tokens are lacking in compliance in relation to these factors. And the factors are trading volume and liquidity, network stability, network security against attacks, and the project's team commitment. So these are the reasons why Binance delisting them. And I hope you're not invested, because all the charts of all the three tokens looks like this, and this is the risk if you're investing in low market caps. And today also we had this big news: Binance Connect shuts down. Binance had made a difficult decision to disable Binance Connect on 15 August due to its provider closing the supporting card payments. It was an on-off ramp, especially for companies to accept Bitcoin or cryptocurrency against fiat. We have a much bigger news right now, just right now came in. Fed officially see upside risk to inflation possibly leading to more rate hikes. Minute shows it just came in. They're considering maybe even higher to rate the interest rates, but it will never happen. I explain you why: because the next Fed meeting is exactly here in 34 days, and we see the probability is still here 88% that they will not increase the interest rates, that will stay by 5.25 or 5.5 base points. And why they will not increase it, the reasons are very clear: because there are lots of uncertainty, and the uncertainty is because real estate concern. And we have the regional banking index, all the regional banks in the US, which are shitting down when the Silver Bank and Silicon Valley Bank and so on got bankrupt. But you see here it starts again to fall, because we are in a very clear chart that we will see some more banks go bankrupt. And this was also one of the reasons why Michael Burry got short with 1.6 billion against the market again. Several days ago he published it. Let us quickly run through further news, because we have more news. Europe's first spot Bitcoin ETF lists in Amsterdam, and this is a huge news, because the listing means Europe will see a spot Bitcoin ETF traded before the US, despite dozens of applications to the Security and Exchange Commission in the last few years. This is quite huge, but it didn't have so big impact on the market, because obviously everyone is watching to US, everyone is watching to BlackRock, because we want to see that the BlackRock ETF has got an approval, because this is the really big huge money which we are waiting for. So this is a quite nice news. Also, I show you in a second here my trades, but let me quickly show you some more things here. You remember here, this is the big reason, because Fitch warns it may be forced to downgrade dozens of banks, including JP Morgan Chase, and this is the real concern. So this is the reason why never ever the Fed will hike the interest rates. This is the reason why the probability is 88% that they will not hike the interest rates, because right now the banks already are struggling with the loans. We have the real estate commercial crisis. They cannot increase the interest rates anymore. So the probability is nearly, in my opinion, 100% that they will not increase the interest rates. And let us right now quickly speak about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is right now in this so-called Bollinger Bands. And always, if the Bollinger Bands are getting squeezed, Zuckerblad, what's that? Wait a minute, I go again back. Always when we see here the here you see always when the Bollinger Bands getting squeezed, so shrinking, we see outbreak in the Bollinger Bands. You see here shrinking, huge breakout of the Bollinger Bands. Here we had the same shrinking, huge breakout, and right now they're getting so crazy squeezed or shrinked, you see. So we expecting here a huge breakout. Will it be to down or upside? Nobody can tell you this exactly, but this is what we see here. Another very interesting thing is here, if we are watching right now the fractals, because if we are watching the fractals here back then, when it was between 2015, if we are watching here 2025, 2016, we've been in so-called rising symmetrical triangle. You see it here very clear. And what we saw right after, we retest the top of the resistance line, and we saw huge breakout and a parabolic move to the upside. And right now we cannot always always copy one by one, but we have here the same. We have this rising symmetrical triangle. We are retesting here this resistance line, and possibly we could see a massive pump to the upside, a breakout to the upside before we see here later this year a black swan event. This is what I spoke about. So here I expecting pretty much the same. I expecting here that we will see pump. They expecting we will see pump here to 48k to 58k. I expecting maybe to 40k, and then later this year also like them, I expecting that we will see here a black swan event. I show you in a second why I think this the same. Let me show you right now. I cannot wait, because on the big picture, you remember here, this is the big picture. If we are watching it, you remember it's always, we see always 2020, huge pump, black swan event. 2018, 17, huge pump, black swan event. You see it here, bottom, huge pump, black swan event. So I'm expecting here also a pump to 15k, and then retest here this line at around between 20 and 18k, this as low as we can go. So this is very, very interesting. Some other people speaking that we are in a huge here so-called rising wedge. A rising wedge is a bearish pattern, and they saying we will break down, because the probability of breaking down of a rising wedge is by 70 to 80%, and it's getting very interesting, because right now, if you are astrology guy, we are right now in a what we are right now in so-called a new moon. We are in a new moon, and always when we are in a new moon, what we see in a new moon, we see usually a huge dump in the market. So therefore, watch out for this right now. Wait a minute, maybe I go on the daily, it's even better. You see it here. Just right now we are in a new moon, so we could see here right now a dump to around 26,300. New moon, the probability historically, even if you don't believe in astrology, is 70 to 80% that we will dump. On full moon we usually see a pump, right? On new moon we usually see a dump. So the probability is very likely that we will see a dump. To which level? I show you 26,300, but one of the biggest support level is the weekly 20 moving 200 moving average and a monthly 100 moving average, and the price target is here lowest 25,500. So be prepared, we could drop down as low as 25,500, 400. Very, very important to watch. And tell me, do you want to see another episode where I'm answering the big question, did this NSA create Bitcoin? This is very interesting. If you want, I can explain you this. What speaks also that we could see some little bit more dump is the funding rates, because the funding rates are pretty high. For example, on DYDX, you see right now 0.03. We want to see the funding rates negative in order to see a bounce in the market right now. What speaks but for a very what very looks very nice is the S&P 500, because the S&P 500, look at this. I mean, even if the S&P 500 go to retest this support line at 4,227, then we'll see the RSI breaking even lower, and then we have here created a huge bullish divergence, which would mean RSI would go down, but the price would go up. The bullish divergence we have already, you see it, right? You see it, or I mean, if you're blind, you obviously don't see it, but you see it here. The price is going up, but the RSI is going down. So the bullish divergence we have already. It looks very nice. And the pump of the DXY, you see it here watching DXY, is not sustainable anymore. You see it here, huge pump. We can go maybe as high as 104 points, but if we are going to 104 points, you see we're heavily overbought already. The RSI is at 64, it's touching the 70. As soon as we're touching the 70, you see touch 70, huge dump, touch 70, huge dump. So right now we could see a little bit more upside on the dollar, and then we see dump, and then so this indicates, so we could see a little bit more pump in the dollar. It means Bitcoin go down, but then we're getting rejected, the dollar go down and Bitcoin go up. This is usually how it works, bratans. Do I have another chart for you? Total crypto market, very important. We are in a huge symmetrical triangle. We are retesting the whole time the resist line. The more we are retest the resist line, the more likely we will break this to the upside. The price target is, you measure from top to the downside, so from first touch point to the second down touch point, the price target is here around $1.5 trillion. It means Bitcoin to 35k at least. So it looks very, very good, bratans. Tell me, what do you think all about this? I'm right now still in my position. Aave position is right now still $4,300 in a loss. LDO position is still $400 in loss. In my opinion, still an amazing long opportunity for LDO and Aave. I remain my long position. FXS looks also very nice, even though we broke again below the weekly 20 moving average, but I'm expecting that we see still here pump to around the level of first what it was here first at $8 approximately. You see it here, $8.50, and next one will be $11, but only if Bitcoin pumps. But we're expecting that Bitcoin will pump, even though if we have some cool down. So answer me, what do you think all about it, bratans? If you want, you claim $1,000 long position bonus, link in the description. I kiss you and see you later.